back to my YouTube channel. I'm Giovanna if you're new here, and today I'm just going to show you my everyday makeup routine, just all the products that I've been loving recently, so I wanted to share it. And yeah, let's get into the video. I'm going to keep looking this way because my mirror is this way. I have my everyday makeup rotation here. I obviously don't use all of this, but sorry. I do like to rotate out of these products, these brushes, and then I'll go in and out sometimes to grab for other things if I want to swap something out. But today I'm just going to show you my everyday kind of go-to. And again, I do change a lot of products daily, but this is kind of what I just stick to. A little headband on that I got from TikTok shop. It's kind of something new I've been trying, but I've been trying to get a more hydrating base. And Catrice sent me this skin glaze, so I've been trying out this primer, put that on already. It honestly reminds me a lot of the Estee Lauder serum primer as well. Then I always like to put SPF before starting everything. So this is the Oil and Pore Control Mattifier SPF 45 from Murad. And I just put that all over. I get very oily. Finish blending that in. And then I've been testing out this Milk Makeup Matte Primer, and I've been reaching for it every day for like the past 2 weeks maybe. I think I'm definitely gonna buy the full size because I have noticed a huge difference when I use this, and my skin does stay matte a little longer than it would without it. And this little sample has lasted me a while. If you want to try it out, you can always ask for the little sample sizes from Sephora. I let that sit in for a little bit. And then my usual go-to has been the Patrick Ta foundation. I've been using this since January, and I've really been liking this. It does make your skin a little bit oilier, but I find that with the Milk Matte Primer, it helps a lot and it doesn't get oily. And for every day, I just love to use my Saie base brush. I think this one is just their foundation brush because they have another one that's just a little thicker and bigger, but I like that I can just dip it in and it grabs the product really well. And I saw in one of these Saie master classes that they had in New York, just from a video online, to blend downward because that's the direction of your hair growth. So I've been trying to do that. And I saw Selena Gomez's makeup artist also say that. I think her name is Melissa. She does really good videos too. I filmed this like a week or two ago, and I wanted to pop in and say that now I've been focusing on using a beauty blender and really blending and, what's it called? Why can't I think of the word, but like pressing it. There you go. Pressing it into the skin with a sponge so it looks a little more skin-like, because I feel like with the brush sometimes, I don't know, it doesn't really get into my pores because I have pretty big pores. So yeah, I've been focusing on using a sponge now and really pressing the product into the skin, and that's all that has changed. So I love how easy this foundation is, but I probably won't repurchase it just because it tends to bunch up in my pores on my nose. No matter what primer I use, no matter what I do, it always does that with this foundation here, and I find that with some other ones it doesn't do that. So I like to go in with the beauty blender there to try to blend it out. For everyday concealer, I switch off from the Tower 28 concealer in the shade IE number 6, and then the e.l.f. hydrating camo concealer. I can only do the hydrating because the regular one is too dry, but this one just gets a little too messy and separated sometimes. So this one is my go-to for every day, and this one if I want just a little more brightness. Put it wherever I have red spots as well. Got pimples down here. I also used to be so afraid of using things that were hydrating because I have oily skin, so I thought it wouldn't mix well, but I'm realizing that hydrating is actually better and then just putting a powder on top helps a lot. I like to use the Saie double-ended brush and use this side for the concealer. And I'll switch between these two depending on what I'm feeling that day, but I've been doing the brush more. I just find that it gives me a little more coverage. And it just blends everything right in. Which I was never a brush girl. I always, when I started doing makeup, just did the beauty blender, and I'm still feel like pretty new to learning how to use makeup properly, but I've been loving using brushes now. I love watching Samantha Nicole on here, and she uses a beauty blender to kind of make sure everything is seamless, so I like to do that as well. Just go back in a little. These are my 4 everyday rotation ones. Recently, I've just been reaching for the Saie one or the Dibs one, but I also really, really love the e.l.f. Glow Wand. Is that what it's called? Yes. And then the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Contour Wand, and they're both in the shade, oh, this one's medium deep, but I also use the light medium, and I like to use light medium in this one. But I realized I really love the way this one smells, but this one smells like paint or something. I don't know, it just smells a little weird. And I bought it this year, so I know it's not expired, but maybe separating inside the tube. I don't know if that's normal. And whenever I use the Dibs one, I like to use the shade Retrograde Rose. And I actually really love both sides. I just haven't reached for the blush recently, but I really do love this one, and it smells really, really good. And I like blending that out with their Dibs brush. Recently, I've just been reaching for the Saie one. I just like the way it just blends easily. It's really easy to apply. And again, I just take the Saie double-ended brush and I blend that in. See, it just blends in. I'm not even done blending it in all the way, but it's just so seamless. I'm still trying to learn what I like for the nose placement, and here, I never do here because I feel like I can never blend it in where it looks natural and not like I messed up and put orange there. So I'm still trying to learn that. And then I have like 5 different shades of the Patrick Ta blushes. I have the shades She's a Doll, this one's Just Enough. I have She's So LA, which is a bronzy color. I have She's Wanted and She's Flushed. Recently, I've been reaching for these two, Just Enough and She's a Doll. I think I'm gonna do, I'll do Just Enough for today. But I've been loving switching out between those because they just last me the longest all day. And I like that it's a powder and a cream in one. I've never had a blush that really lasted me all day like these do. I've also been really loving the Essence Rosy Rosewood color. It's really pretty as well and affordable. I always like to top my blush with the Milani Big Blush in Dolce Pink or with the Surratt one in the shade Barbie Papa? Something like that. I can't say it, I'm sorry. I think it's in French. I always kind of switch which brushes I'm using. I either go for the F4 Makeup by Mario brush, the same Saie base brush, or these Jessup Beauty brushes, this dome one. Today I'm just gonna take the F4 one, and then I go in, I actually just do cream first and then powder. I just find that it lasts longer on me that way. I don't like when it feels like a slip and slide everywhere. And this blush was kind of his line of trying to do a less pigmented one, like a more user-friendly one, because the other ones are really pigmented and you have to go on with a really light hand. But with the shade Just Enough, I feel like it's easy to really pick up a lot, pack it on, and blend it out nicely. You don't have to be scared of it. But I've been loving this soft pink color on my chin, and then up here as well. And then recently I've been using this Catrice Sun Lover baked bronzer. I just take my fluffy jessup brush, swirl that around. Kind of reminds me of the Hourglass one. It even has a little glitter that Hourglass does. And I just put it on top of the liquid bronzer I put there. I don't do too much just because I'm new to it. And then a tiny bit on my lid. And then I also like to bring my powder blush into my eyelid. I'm gonna do powder right now, powder my face, then do more powder on top. I feel like that really locks it in for the day. So I just take some powder and I dab it on the little plastic here so that my mirror doesn't get dirty, because I kept doing that. And then I like to take that on my eye. I also kind of randomly place it here just so, again, everything is kind of blended in. Doing a little more. Did you hear that thunder? Yeah, we're about to have a thunderstorm. Now for powders, I've been using this every day for a couple of months now. I really love this one. It's only $3. It's from e.l.f. and I hit pan already. And I've never, well, actually I have. That would be a lie. I hit pan on Maybelline Fit Me powder as well. I used to take this powder brush and put it everywhere, but I find that I stay more matte when I pack it on with a powder puff. I think for today I'm just gonna do, yeah. For today I'm just gonna do the She Glam translucent one, and I really swirl that around in there. I'm not doing loose powder. Then I lightly dab it here first and then on myself. Just gotta make sure there's not any creases. Just put that on. And then I know people usually just put it on the areas that they want to set and are oily, but I set everything so that it all stays in place, and really pack it on in this area. That is so loud. Okay. Now I'm nice and flat. I want a little more of this powder, and then I kind of try to concentrate it up here. Now taking some of this Dolce Pink from Milani. Forgot, I also love using this saie powder brush for my powders and the liquid blushes. It actually blends it out really, really nicely, and it helps not make it patchy. So really, really love this brush. All the saie brushes I feel like are really good. But taking that on top. Recently I've been reaching for this one more, and I'll show you why, because it's so pretty. I'll see if the camera picks this up, but I don't know if it will. It's just like a really pretty, glowy blush topper. I feel like this with the shade Just Enough goes perfectly because they're both this baby pink color. Then I always reach for this Catrice highlighter. Even this is coming off. This is the shade Supreme Rose Beam, and it's so pretty. I like to use this for my inner corners. You can see how that brightens everything up. I like to take this on my lid as well. Put some on my nose and on the bridge here. Sometimes on the Cupid's bow. Usually I'll take my finger and like dab it on, but recently I saw this video where she takes her beauty blender, goes right on there. I'm gonna dab some so it's not intense. But it just looks so nice and natural. I don't know if you can see that. But I feel like it packs it on nicely so that it blends in nicely. And then putting some on the top of my eyebrow bone. And then I just fill in my eyebrows with the same brow pencil usually. This is the e.l.f. waterproof instant lift waterproof brow pencil in the shade Taupe. I used to use the regular version, but I find that the waterproof one just stays on longer because it's waterproof and it actually glides on easier. I find it's been a little more pigmented than the regular one. For brow gels, I go in between the Benefit one and the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel. This one's really, really good. This one I kind of just go for every day. The Anastasia one kind of picks up my foundation sometimes and it'll look a little crusty sometimes, not all the time, just sometimes. Loving this Rimmel Scandalize. And I go in between just filling it in here with this one or using the Makeup by Mario palette and giving myself a little wing. Revlon eyelash curler. Mascaras, I just threw away my Lancome Mr. Big one because it was getting a little old, but I like that one for volume. It just gets me raccoon eyes and I didn't know how to prevent that, so I don't know if I'll repurchase it, but I do love the volume of that one. I like this one for everyday because it's easy to take off at the end of the day since it's a tubing mascara and I use the shade brown. And when I want length and volume, I just use the Panorama mascara from L'Oreal. Today we're going in with this one. Lastly, lips. Lips change all the time depending on my mood. My everyday matte long-lasting lips, I like the Maybelline Superstay in the colors Achieve It All, which is this one, and the shade Break the Ceiling, which is this one. I feel like my everyday lip liners are the Charlotte Tilbury Love Trap, the Catrice Starring Roll, and Global Citizen from NYX. This is their Line Loud one that lasts long. And then for glosses, I have so many for everyday. I like the In Beauty Cinnamon Bun, the Catrice Lip Oil, in the shade Drama Mama. But these are kind of my everyday go-tos. The Tower 28 Magic, the Catrice Marblicious Lip Balm in the shade Don't Be Shaky. This one is such a pretty milky gloss. And it's not sticky at all. It is like a balmy texture. And I love this one. This is what I'm gonna do today, is Jam Session from e.l.f. The lip liner for today, I'm just gonna do the Line Loud. Just glides right on. And then I kind of blend it in with my own lips. The e.l.f. lip oil. I've been using these two setting sprays. I tried different ones, but again, I've been just reaching for these two. I like to put some of this and then just a light layer of this on top. This one has such a fine mist. It is strong if you inhale it. I'm switching my headband for my everyday headband, and that's my everyday makeup. Obviously, when I'm not talking, this goes by a lot faster, but I've been loving all the products that I mentioned. I'm actually gonna add a little wing because I like the way that looks. And I just go on with the brown one from Makeup by Mario. I like to just take this on my e.l.f. What is this? The Eyebrow Duo brush. I think this brush is like maybe $3 or less. And I feel like it gives me the perfect little wing. Thank you for watching. If you watched this whole thing, let me know what you would like to see next, and I'll see you in the next video.